You've seen it happen. Two fighters, similar size, similar training background. One of them lands a punch, and the other person barely reacts. The other lands a punch, and the fight is over. Most people chalk that up to genetics. He's just a natural hitter. She was born with power. That's mostly wrong. Punching power is not a fixed trait you either have or don't have. It's a skill with specific mechanics behind it. And once you understand those mechanics, you can actually train them. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why some fighters hit so much harder than others, and then show you what you can do about it. First, let's define what we're actually talking about. Power in physics is force multiplied by velocity. In striking, force is generated by mass, how much of your body you put behind the shot. Velocity is how fast the mass is moving at the point of impact. So a powerful punch is not just a fast punch, and it's not just a heavy punch. It's a fast punch with maximum body mass behind it at the moment of contact. That's the whole game. Everything else is just figuring out how to maximize those two variables. Now here's what most people get wrong. They think power comes from the arm. It doesn't. The arm is just the last link in a chain. The real source of power is the ground. Here's how that chain actually works. The force starts at your feet specifically in how you push off the ground. That force travels up through your legs, through your hips rotating, through your core, transferring that rotation to your upper body, through your shoulder, and finally out through your fist. Every link in that chain that breaks down costs you power. A punch thrown with only the arm, with no leg drive, no hip rotation, no core engagement, that's maybe 20 to 30% of what you're capable of. The arm alone is the weakest link. The whole body is the weapon. So why do some fighters seem to naturally hit harder than others even before they've trained? There are a few real factors. Fast twitch muscle fiber ratio. Your muscles contain two main fiber types. Slow twitch fibers are built for endurance. Fast twitch fibers are built for explosive, short burst output. People with a higher ratio of fast twitch fibers in their hips, legs, and core generate rotational force faster, which directly translates to more power at the fist. This ratio is largely genetic, but it can be partially developed through explosive training. More on that in a minute. Structural levers. Longer limbs act as longer levers. All else being equal, a longer arm or a longer torso generates more velocity at the endpoint of the punch. This is why reach matters in striking. It's not just about range, it's about leverage. Kinetic chain efficiency. Some people, through natural movement patterns, are just better at transferring energy from the ground up without leaking it. Their joints stack correctly, their timing is natural, their sequence is efficient. Everyone else has to learn this through deliberate practice. And here's the key point: trained kinetic chain efficiency will beat untrained natural power almost every time. Technique is the multiplier. 4 things directly increase punching power, and all 4 are trainable. Number 1, hip rotation speed. The hips are the engine, not the shoulders, not the arm, the hips. A fighter who rotates their hips fast generates far more power than a fighter who rotates slow, regardless of arm strength. Watch any elite knockout artist in slow motion. The hips snap, not swing. There's a sharp, explosive rotation that loads and releases in a fraction of a second. That isolation forces your hips to do the work. Do this 3 to 4 times per week with a light ball and maximal intent. Maximal intent is key. Half effort throws train, half effort power. Number 2, kinetic chain timing. This is the most overlooked factor. It's not just that each part of the body contributes power, it's that each part has to fire in the right sequence at the right time. Think of it like a whip. A whip generates incredible force at the tip, not because the handle is strong, but because the energy wave travels from handle to tip in the right sequence. The drill to fix this: slow motion shadow boxing. Throw your punches at 20% speed and feel where the sequence breaks. Most people will notice their shoulder fires before their hip completes the rotation. Number 3, relaxation before impact. This one is counterintuitive. Tense fighters hit soft. Relaxed fighters hit hard. When your muscles are tense throughout the punch, they create internal resistance. You're fighting yourself. Power bleeds out before it reaches the target. The fighters who hit hardest stay completely relaxed during the delivery and only contract everything at the exact moment of impact. Throw punches with your hand fully open and relaxed. Loosen the fist at the last moment. This forces your body to learn the timing of relaxation and contraction. It feels wrong at first. Do it in shadow boxing for 5 minutes a session for a few weeks, and your punches will feel completely different. Number 4. Penetration, not reach. This is a technical point that changes everything. Most people aim for the surface of the target. High-level strikers aim through the target 4 to 6 inches behind it. When you aim for the surface, you unconsciously begin decelerating before impact. The punch is already slowing down when it lands. When you aim through the target, you're still accelerating at the moment of contact. The difference in force transfer is massive. Now let's quickly cover what people waste time on. Arm strength, bench press, bicep curls, tricep pushdowns. These have minimal direct transfer to punching power. The arm is the last link in the chain, and it's the weakest link by design. Building arm strength while ignoring hip drive and chain timing is like upgrading the speakers in a car with a broken engine. Lifting heavy. Absolute strength has a role, but it's smaller than people think. Explosive strength, the ability to produce force rapidly, is what transfers to striking. That means Olympic lifts, jumps, throws, and plyometrics beat slow, heavy lifts for combat sports power development. Here's the truth about punching power. A small percentage of it is genetic fast twitch fiber ratios, structural levers, and natural movement patterns. You cannot change those. But the majority of it is technical. Kinetic chain efficiency, hip rotation speed, relaxation timing, and penetration depth are all trainable, and trained technique will beat untrained genetics almost every time. The fighters who hit hardest aren't always the biggest, or the strongest, or the most naturally gifted. They're the ones who learned how to use their whole body as a single connected weapon, and then made that a habit through deliberate repetition. You don't build power by hitting harder, you build power by moving better.